Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Couch Coaching. I'm Vincent. This is Jimmy. We're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and their 2013 season. For those of you that haven't been with us before, what we do is we're going to talk about the preseason of their record. We're going to mainly talk about the third preseason game, and we're going to break down the first quarter of the season for the Dallas Cowboys and how we think they'll fare. So the Dallas Cowboys
played the Bengals in their main important preseason game, which was the third one. That's where the starters played the majority of the time, and it was 18-24. Dallas came out on top. Now, I have to admit I'm not a big Dallas Cowboy fan, but they actually looked fairly decent in that game. Yeah. Their record for the preseason was 2-3. So I mean, or no, what am I doing? 2-3. They only played four. They only played 4 of them.
I think they played 5.
I don't. They only played 4.
They played 5.
I'm sorry. On this app, they have 2-3 on their preseason game. That's
they played in the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, they did play in the Hall of Fame game. Okay. Well, then they were 2-3. I forgot about the Hall of Fame. Is that even a preseason game?
Yeah, it's a preseason game.
I thought that was just for fun. Sorry.
As the players, I don't think they say it was for fun.
Well, then that's not mixed up. But yeah, they were 18-24. Bengals had 18, Cowboys had 24. They did look pretty good in that game, from what I was able to see.
Yeah, and I think that the Cowboys. Sorry, the Cowboys are the team. The thing about the Cowboys is that every year everybody's hoping that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody's predicting that they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Who's predicting them?
Some of the experts.
Are you serious?
Obviously,
they didn't lose their job.
Serious. Well, this particular year, I'm glad to say now, coming out the NFC, they really have a real shot. Now, when I say a real shot to get to the Super Bowl, what I mean is they have a real shot to go go deep to the postseason. I don't think they have a shot at getting past. Let me finish now. I don't think they have a real shot at getting past San Francisco or Seattle. But that doesn't mean that somebody else couldn't beat them, because the NFC East is weak this year.
Huh?
It's weak.
Who's in the NFC East?
The New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington Redskins. Yeah. So it's weak. I'm telling you, it's weak.
Okay, now if you had watched the Houston little episode, we were a lot of agreements here. We are totally in a different direction here. Really? I mean, Washington. Look, Washington, even if they don't have RG3, Cousins is a good quarterback. I don't even know if he's back yet, because I watched the preseason game when he played the Steelers. And
he's been cleared to play, but yeah.
So RG3, if he's healthy, that's RG3. You got Alfred Morris after that. Mm-hmm. All right, Giants. Mm-hmm. Really? They got Victor Cruz, Eli Manning. Now this kid named Wilson who can run the ball, is a good runner. I've seen him, and their defense is pretty strong too. Philadelphia Eagles. I'm actually excited for the Philadelphia Eagles this season, because of the fact that with Chip Kelly there and what he's got now, that whole Andy Reid is, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna pass, run. When you have a great running back in the backfield, Chip Kelly knows that. Chip Kelly's using that. I'm liking what he's doing. What game are you watching? I mean, look, I'm gonna say it just like this. Cowboys are not making it to the postseason. They have a good chance of going to the Super Bowl if Jerry Jones and them host it again. That's the only way they're going back to the Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys, and I think now the bias is coming out of me now, because it is the Cowboys. But I speak for a lot of Cowboys fans out there. Get rid of Jerry Jones, the team will be irrelevant again.
When you say get rid of Jerry, they'll be relevant again. And you say get rid of Jerry Jones, you mean as the general manager? And
I'm talking about as the coacher, doctor, news anchor, promote, all of it. Let him just do what an owner is supposed to do. Stay out of all the other team decisions. They'll be irrelevant again.
Right.
No coach wants to go over there and coach, because they have to be tied to Jerry Jones' decision, regardless of who it is. Tony Romo, good quarterback on paper. Get him in the big games, he can't pull it off. Simple as that. We've seen it time and time again. In his career, I can't tell you how many times they've been to the playoffs and how many times they've won in the playoffs, because he cannot win. Okay, well, there you go. So how can you even remotely say that the NFC...
Well, This is what I'm going to say about that situation, because I firmly now let me rephrase what I said earlier when I said that it's weak, that the division is weak. The thing about it is that they're even. So there's no clear-cut favorite in the NFC East. Now I feel like with Monty Kiffin coming over on the defensive side of the ball, I think that's going to be the big difference, because the problem with because I know a lot of people have problems with the fact that Tony Romo got this big contract over the offseason. And I think we've had this discussion before, because the thing about it is, if you don't sign Tony Romo, then who you gonna go sign? And there's nobody out there that you're gonna sign that's available to do what Tony Romo can do.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this question. You give me your honest opinion.
Okay.
Quarterback on your roster hasn't done anything for you. He's just a regular Joe quarterback. Now, hold on. When I say done things for you, is that he's won you games, but he hasn't won you the
playoff game. Right.
He hadn't took you into the playoffs. He's not a Joe Flacco, and I'm bringing him up because he went great in the playoffs this season and won the Super Bowl.
Right.
He's been to the playoffs every year. He's been there, and they play in a tough division.
Right.
I mean, he's not that. So why would you go off and pay him that kind of money and not just go ahead and sit back and say, you know what? It makes no difference if we go draft somebody. If we had drafted the quarterback last year, this year, or the year before last. If we're not going to make it to the playoffs, then it doesn't matter, because we're not going to the Super Bowl. We're not going to the main stage as it is with our current quarterback. So why would we pay him this amount of money to have us not do it when I can save this money? And put it in another quarterback.
All right.
And then, because I'm not going to the playoffs with this quarterback either, because I'm not going with my starter. And then put that money back on a defensive side, offensive side, or what have you, and a different coach or what have you. It's because Jerry Jones has his hand on every decision that goes on.
That's part of it. That's part of it. But again, like I just mentioned earlier, if you don't keep Tony, then who are you going to keep? I mean, because I personally feel like Tony is not the problem. I think Tony Romo is not the problem. I think the problem is that, with them taking away the offensive play calling from Jason Garrett, and Jason Garrett is on the hot seat. They can say Jerry Jones can say whatever he wants to say. Jason Garrett's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So I think the offensive play calling is part of the problem. The preparation, because it's a couple of games that they had last year that if they were properly prepared for some of those situations, then they could have won those games, but they weren't. Poor clock management, a whole bunch of other things like that can determine the outcome of the game. So they just weren't prepared like they should be. So we're gonna go ahead and start talking about their first 4 games of the season. And as you see, he's on one side of the fence, I'm on the other side of the fence.
And I'm gonna stay on this side of the fence. Excuse me, because I'm on the right side of the fence.
Their first opponent for the season will be the New York Giants.
Okay, now do I even need to tell you my prediction on this one?
No, you really don't, because I already know what you're going to say. So
I think the other people know it too. I even think Cowboy fans know about this game. Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, Tom Coughlin, them guys have gotten this team on offense where it needs to be.
Okay.
I honestly feel that the defensive side of the ball is not going to be ready to go over and battle this right now. I think that with Wilson, the running back now, I don't see the Cowboys winning this game.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that because of just what you said too. Wilson, and then who else? Their running game is number one. The reason that they wanted to keep Brown, but Brown broke his leg, and I'm talking about the Giants. They wanted to keep Brown, but Brown broke his leg, and they released him this week. It's because Brown is a better pass blocker than Wilson is. Wilson is a good running back, but he cannot pass block. That's going to be a problem in his first week game against Monty Kiffin and his blitz crazy defense, because he's going to have to be able to pick up those blitzes. Now, having said that, it's a way you can manage that. If you keep him in shotgun, then the blitz is going to get there a whole lot, not as fast as it would normally. So, that'll allow Victor Cruz, Akeem Nicks, all them guys to work underneath to get their job done. I just think that the Cowboys will be able to win this game, me personally. But it's going to be a close game.
Look, I honestly, even if you blitz, I mean, you're talking about Eli Manning. All right, he is one of the elite quarterbacks. He's been to the big games. He's won the big games. He knows defensive just like his brother, which is who? Peyton Manning.
Okay.
So when it comes down to it, if you blitz, like Monty Kiffin wants to do, which
Right.
everybody knows he's going to do, because he's not going to sit his guys back and not do it.
Right.
So he's going to blitz. Okay, yeah, you put him in shotgun. What's going to end up happening? He's just going to do slants all day long.
Right.
He's going to do it right there behind your blitzing linebackers. He's going to do it with your safety coming up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to leave Victor Cruz wide open. And then if you're going to keep blitzing, I'll go ahead and do screens with you with Wilson.
Right.
Because it's not one guy. It's hard enough for one guy to take Wilson down when he's running because he's a downhill runner. He's low to the ground.
Right.
I don't think the Cowboys will be able to pull it off with the Giants. I think the Giants and Eli Manning, they know the defense pretty well on the Cowboys. You know,
it's a whole different scheme, though. What I'm saying,
well,
so they know the players.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
When I say they know the defense, I mean the players. 'Cause I mean, you can come in there with any scheme that you want. If you got the same personnel that are not built for that kind of a scheme,
right?
It's the same people.
And there could be the problem is the fact that, you know, again, because they're doing a new scheme, they may not have all the proper personnel. You know, with DeMarcus Ware there, and then they got their middle linebacker back at the beginning for the beginning of the season. So, you know, they'll be better. And I just think I feel like it'll be enough to win the game, because again, the key for the Dallas Cowboys this season is, number one, Dez Bryant, you know, staying focused on football. You know, and it seems like the Cowboys have found a way to manage that. Number two is DeMarco Murray staying healthy.
Yeah.
They have to keep DeMarco Murray healthy, because, you know, they lost Felix Jones. Well, they let Felix Jones go, and he's playing with the Steelers now. So, you know, they have to keep DeMarco Murray healthy in order for their running game to be as stout as they want it to be, because, you know, everybody knows when you watch enough football, your pass game, unless you play in Green Bay, your pass game is determined by your run game.
Yep.
So if you can run well, then you should be able to pass well.
Yep, I agree.
And so so I feel like that they'll have enough to win this first game, and we already know that Jimmy feels like they have enough to win the first game too.
No, the Giants will win that game.
The Giants will win that game. So right now, he says they're gonna be 0-1, and I'm saying they're gonna be 1-0.
Right. Okay,
their next opponent will be the Kansas City Chiefs, and they'll be playing at Kansas City against Andy Reid and that new potent, high-powered offense.
This one, I think the Cowboys will win.
I do too. I don't. From what I saw with Kansas City in the preseason, I mean, they look sporadic at best on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is because you're going from an old, you know, we're going to run,
right,
you know, to now Andy Reid, who likes to throw.
A lot.
And so again, this is the reason why they didn't work out in Philadelphia. You had McCoy back there, good runner. Now you got Charles back there,
good runner.
And now you're going to throw. I mean, you really don't have the people to throw, and so in my opinion, again, I don't think the team's going to click well this season either. Right. I think the Cowboys will win this game.
Yeah, I think we both agree on that. I mean, 'cause I just don't think that you know, Kansas City has enough to be able to, you know, to beat the Cowboys, as long as the Cowboys stay healthy. And again, the offensive line, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, you know, on several occasions, that their offensive line has to be better and has to get better. This is their third year they're going to be together, and it's usually how many years it takes for an offensive line to gel, so to speak. So they should be better, and I think that they should have no problem beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't either.
So he says that they'll be 1-2. I'm saying they'll be 2-0, and then they play the St. Louis. Sorry.
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, we ain't got the third game.
They'll be 1-1.
They'll be 1-1.
They'll be 1-1, and I say they'll be 2-0. And then the next opponent they'll have will be the St. Louis Cardinals. Did I say that? Rams.
Whoa.
I went way back with that one, didn't I? The St. Louis Rams.
Goodness gracious, sir.
At Dallas. So what do you think about that game?
I'm thinking the Rams. I am going to pick the Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams because of the fact that I think with Jeff Fisher being the way that he is and his coaching abilities, I honestly feel that there's not a whole lot that the Cowboys can show that he hadn't already seen. I like the personnel that comes with the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. I think the Rams have more of a well-rounded attack scheme when it comes to it all. And like I said, I just don't think that the Cowboys will have enough to overrun that one.
You know, and I'm gonna have to agree with you on this, but not for those reasons that you have just stated.
All right.
I think the Cowboys lose this game because I think after beating the Giants and beating the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they'll start smelling themselves a little bit.
Hold on. So you're saying because they'll win the first 2 weeks, it's the reason why they'll lose the third week?
I'll tell you, because these guys, they'll be overconfident. Look, Cowboy fans and Cowboys, these guys, they get so overconfident about everything. You get what I'm saying? So I think that they'll lose this game because St. Louis, it's going to be one of those games where you let them hang around too long. And they'll win the game. And that's why I think that they'll win that game. It's because they letting St. Louis hang around too long. They'll be well coached. We all know that Jeff Fisher can coach.
Right. And
they'll be well coached. And then the Dallas Cowboys are going to be letting these guys hang around too long in the game, and they're going to find a way to win. This team gave the San Francisco 49ers all they can handle twice.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So these kids can play. And so with the draft picks that they brought in, and then them deciding to go a different way without Steven Jackson, I think that that's going to allow them to be even better. And then of course on top of that, they just got they got the tight end out of Tennessee. His name is
Jared Cook.
Yeah, Cook. Thank you, Jared Cook. That's one of the weapons that they'll be needing. For Sam Bradford to take that next step forward. And I just don't think that the Cowboys have anybody. Lee is a good linebacker, but I just don't think Lee can stay with Jared Cook if you have to put him in pass coverage.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I think that they'll lose that game.
I do too. I think the Cowboys will lose that game. So I have them sitting at 1-2, and you have them sitting at.
You have them sitting at 1-2. It's 2-1.
No, it's 1-2. They'll beat Kansas City, so that'd be the only one.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get you to get them to be above 500.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have them sitting at 1-2, and I have them sitting at 2-1.
Well, they may be at 500 because now they're playing the Chargers on week 4.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Chargers. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, San Diego's a beautiful city.
That's the only thing it's got going for them. I mean, it's not going to be cold. It's not going to be hot.
Right.
And then once you lose the game when you're the Chargers, you can just go out to the beach. So I mean, it's a perfect ideal city.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Cowboys will win this game.
Yeah, I think they'll.
I think right now with the Chargers sitting the way they are, especially through their preseason games, and so inconsistent with their gameplay and their game calling, and especially now that they have a new coach. They're not going to be any better off when they had Norv Turner than now that they don't have Norv Turner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the Chargers will lose this game because the Cowboys will end up having more of a team,
right?
Sense to play. So
yeah, I think after that loss to St. Louis, they'll be ready to get back on track. And again, with Phillip Rivers, as good as Phillip Rivers is, where Phillip Rivers is going to be right where he's supposed to be because he doesn't scramble. And with the way that Monty Kiffin likes to blitz, I mean, they'll be all over him all day. So
yeah, and that's going to be the thing is that he doesn't like to scramble, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of targets on the offensive line. So I mean, on the offensive side of the ball. So I mean, yeah, I think that it's going to be. I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy win because again, you play the game to play the game. But I think that they'll fairly come out with a decent side advantage on that game when the end of the game ends.
Yeah, I think they'll win that game pretty easy. I think San Diego will give them a little bit of a battle, but I still think that they'll be able to win that game.
Yeah, I do too.
Fairly easy.
So I've got them sitting at 2-2 at the end of the season.
Yeah,
at the end of our 4 games. I keep saying the season. I don't know why I say season. At the end of the 4 games, I got them 2-2.
Yeah, and I have them at 3-1. And for those of you that haven't watched us before, what we do is we try to break down these specific teams' quarters. And so 4-game quarters out of a 16-game season. So we'll be back again to do this again to do the next 4 games of the season. Right
as the Chargers and the Cowboys play.
Right, exactly.
So once the Cowboys and Chargers play that week, we'll go ahead and start breaking down the next 4 games to go ahead and get a good sense of where they're at now, where they should be going forward.
Exactly.
So as of right now, I got them 2-2. You got them 3-1. If y'all have any comments, any questions, anything you just want to throw out there, we may have said something wrong or you disagree with it, hey, that's fine too. At the bottom of the screen, just leave your information there. Any questions that you have, and if you have topics for another show, just leave them right there. We'll hit you back as soon as we can. You can leave a message on Couch Coaching 12 on our Facebook page. Anything else?
And just, if you have another team that you would like for us to cover, like maybe the San Diego Chargers.
Oh God.
Well, any other team that you'd like for us to cover,
no, that's fine.
Hey, give us a hit in the comment box, and we'll be glad to do it. All right, thanks, and stay safe.